Hi, I'm Barry John, and welcome back to Let's Play Overload. I have two co-pilots, and I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey, this is Crazy Ahmed.
And I'm Laylite, the sergeant at Legs.
So I hope you guys don't mind the fact that the mouse was on the screen there for a second.
We might find some answers.
I wasn't going to say anything about it, but if you insist.
The duration of your cryostasis amnesia is unusual.
We should have remembered things by now. That doesn't sound like a plot development at all.
Specify that recovery should proceed naturally, without providing the subject with biographical information.
Oh, goodness. I think I have an idea, but I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I've got a couple of pet theories as well,
An unusual energy
but I'd rather let the twist happen naturally.
at the observatory.
Yeah, speculation is not a game that you can win.
So,
Oh, hey.
the Crusher. This is a... Oh, and the Nova. I've already mentioned that guy. The Nova is the smart missile. The Crusher is a weapon I'm going to show off mostly next level, because it's a hell of a gun.
It says it's a direct competition with the flak cannon, so...
It's not
I'm
a
assuming
competition.
that means it's the better one?
It's not a competition.
Well, yeah, they're foreshadowing it pretty heavily in the description of the flat gun, so I'm keen to see what it does.
I'm sure you probably get a lot of bang for your buck if you upgrade the Devastator. That's probably a lot of proportional damage there.
Yeah.
So I noticed there's a button at the bottom that says auto upgrade. I'm assuming it probably just picks stuff randomly.
Pretty much.
You know, what this tells me is that even in the far-flung future where we're busy teleporting between planets, people are still going to complain about how long their commute takes.
Of course.
Well, to be fair, the commute took 2 years.
At least the traffic's not so bad.
No. I really should start considering cutting out these loading screens, but I feel...
It's good to have at least one, just so that the viewer has an idea of how long this is taking.
Yeah.
It's all about the immersion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even light speed is not so fast in the universe.
I just have to say, putting that super upgrade right there, right in full view of the player when they come in, and then setting up this crossfire for anybody who gets greedy, that's a thing.
Yeah, if you're a seasoned Descent player, by this point you know to be suspicious of such things.
Mm-hmm.
But now that it's all cleared out, you've got a nice, wide open room to retreat to if things start getting hairy in these, side passages. Isn't it just such a great, subdued but nice moment when you can actually catch one of those robots off guard because they're facing the wrong way?
It is. I also like the fact that you can see the outside of the mine through the window to the right there, instead of, it's looking sideways out the mine rather than up out of it. It's a nice, change of perspective.
Yeah, it's like we teleported into the ground floor of, an installation on the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really makes the place seem more real and not just a collection of polygons and floating in space.
I mean, at the same time, I guess it makes sense that they don't have, a huge, glass pane office window on the side either.
Yeah. Because, they had those huge glass panes in Descent 3, and it was... Yeah. Let's talk about better games. Anything that isn't Descent 3.
Well, something suspicious is going to happen here later, but I guess we can't do anything now.
Spoilers, it's a backtrack. And there's another door here that we'll deal with later.
Well, there's the red zone. Can't go to the red zone yet.
Oh yeah, I wonder if one of the audio logs is going to give us some kind of in-world justification for the existence of monster closets.
Sanvi Tamboli.
You know, I don't think they do.
0831. I lead the auto-op engineering team here at the workshop.
Alright, thanks for your introduction.
Yeah, if there's one thing I don't like about the way this game handles the logs, is that the first log is always the, "Hi, here is my name for plot-relevant purposes."
Yeah, they should at least tag on a little bit more info to that.
Or make it more natural, because, I mean, I can understand it's like, if this is report from such and such a name on such and such a date, for official filing purposes, but when you get these more personal styled logs, like, why do they introduce themselves with this name first?
Yeah, Engineer Tamboli here. Everything is terrible.
Also, take out those the auto-op generators, or else they will start making these guys endlessly.
Oh yeah, like they're already enough of a hassle and there's like 3 or 4 of them. You don't want there to be 6.
Oh, trust me, it gets worse in later levels.
You know what these
Yeah,
games
they do
teach
their
me?
job pretty well. Just being just hardy enough to survive a few like glancing blows and flooding the room with shots.
Sorry, you were saying, Ahmed?
Oh, yeah. You know what these games teach me more than anything is when I'm interviewing for jobs in the cyberpunk future, if I find out that there's a requirement for me to make audio logs regularly, I'm just gonna run.
I like the way you think.
Well, see, the tricky part of it is not only do you have to make the audio logs, but you also have to stash them away in like deep corners or behind doors and not like at your desk.
Yeah, I figure people leave them lying around when they're busy installing all those secret doors in the walls that contain like a one-tile cubicle room.
So you may have noticed when I flicked over to the map there, you can see the where the cryo tubes are, and how there was 4 of them on one area there, and then there was 2 of them elsewhere. So this is the first level where there's actually multiple cryo tube rooms.
Alright, fair enough. That's something they've pulled in other games and they're bringing it in here. Once again, it's one of those cases where you can see the objective ahead of time. It gives you a goal to go towards, but it's up to you to how to get there.
Yeah,
This is a busy room.
it is. There's 3 of these Super Tritons and a half dozen of the other guys, so...
At least they were polite enough to start out next to each other, so if you're quick on the draw and you fire off those missiles, you will get the benefit of that splash damage.
Oh, yeah. Also, just, chillin' to that music beat.
Oh yeah, I gotta put some appreciation out there for whoever's written the soundtrack to this.
Yeah, there you go. Opening that door from way far away. That's the trick.
Well, it's what, a locked door at the end of a corridor where you have an objective. It's like, yeah, obviously you're going to turn your back to it to you see when it opens up.
Critical. You'll upgrade the auto-ops and deploy them throughout Titan and the Inner Moons. You'll receive specifications directly from me. We have very little time for implementation, so you need to be ready. The specs far exceed anything in production to date. You'll need Oberon at Titan Forge to fabricate these materials. The work you're doing here is secret. Need to know basis only. All other facilities will follow suit. They send you parts. You send them auto-ops. That's all you need to do. We all know that operators built this company. That's why Juno Offworld now dominates the belt. But this, you've never seen anything like this before.
This explains the augmentations we've observed in auto-ops on Titan. This will not make our mission any easier.
So,
You know, that's a good thinking by that engineer there. That's exactly the kind of audio log that you want to keep for potential blackmail material if you need it.
Yeah. And of course, I like the in-game justification for the powered-up super robots. It's because
Yeah, Cantor seems to like the kind of guy who just like CC the entire plant on that though.
He definitely seems like a bit of a micromanager. Like, he's not the kind of person to sit back and take status reports and issue orders at a high level. He's talking to a lot of different employees at this company.
But the weird thing is, like, he's keeping his story straight. He's made it clear ahead of time that, you know, we are having problems. There's problems coming. We need to be prepared. This is what each of our facilities is going to be doing to support each other. I just have to trust you guys to, you know, not casually talk to each other.
Oh yeah, he's not making this up as he goes along. He planned this all out from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the "will you stop hitting reply all on these company-wide emails or you will burn."
Cantor never really goes that crazy. And here is our next secret level.
Fancy.
Yep.
Lowy.
Now, there's been some discussion in the thread about the difficulties of the secret levels. And I want to say that this guy here, Gamma, is actually the easiest of the secret levels that I've played through so far. Well,
Okay,
for the
that's
purposes of
compact.
LP.
That looks slightly smaller than, like, a multiplayer arena, but that gives you some space to maneuver.
Yeah, it basically is a multiplayer arena, just with, you know, a lot of enemy bots in a time frame. But here's the reason why I think this secret level is just so easy. Look at my ability to dodge in this room.
Oh, you certainly got plenty of horizontal space. Not so convinced on the vertical, but it's enough. I'm not seeing a lot of dead ends either. Like, this whole thing looks like it's made of loops, so I don't think you can ever really get cornered.
No, but the thing is, like, I can just sit in this room and circle strafe to my heart's content effectively, and I can easily rack up the 40 kills.
Yeah, we haven't really had large enough rooms to this point where it's easy to tell whether the enemies are leading their shots or not. It kind of looks like they're not.
Yeah, I've seen some of the guys do that kind of Mancubus pattern where they fire one or two shots that are aimed directly at you and then a few to either side just to mess with you.
And one of the nice things that this game does to, you know, mix that up is it include the rebounding shot guys now, and they include melee enemies.
Yeah, they seem more to rely upon volume of fire than, like, intelligence of fire, if that makes any sense. And that makes at least individual enemies easier to predict.
Yeah, it's like.
But
almost
yeah,
a bullet hell
you don't
kind
really
of thing
seem to be,
sometimes.
this doesn't seem to be... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it almost feels like a bullet hell shooter sometimes, except you don't die in one hit.
Yeah, like, you're not really in danger of running out of space to dodge in this level so much as you are of danger of being surprised by projectile speed or an enemy coming out at an angle you didn't recognize or something like that. But they're not really trying to trap you, they're trying to hit you.
Mm-hmm. And that was literally my first run through on this level, on this during the recording run. I didn't need to, you know, splice in just the victory run. It was literally that easy.
Alright, one cut.
I feel like there's kind of an art to making those easy levels, though. It's air quotes around the easy.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
it's
the
way too
difficulty's
easy
low.
to... You can design a level that's too hard, you know, no problem at all. Getting the difficulty just right is something you gotta fine-tune with a lot of iterations and a lot of playtesting.
Yeah, but there's a certain something about making a stage as well that is sure, you can complete in one run, but you feel like a total badass doing so.
Well, I think this...
Yeah, you...
Sorry, you're going ahead?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Fine. So you feel like you're in danger, but it also feels like it's at your skill level. Like you've gotten enough of a control on your own ship to be able to handle the challenge, and you really feel like you're tearing up the enemy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the secret I have for that particular level is the way I've upgraded my homing missiles, that I can just throw out 3 missiles at once and basically duck away from the fight and let the missiles do all the work.
Yeah, being able to compartmentalize enemies like that and just say, okay, whatever is over there is probably dead, I'll duck behind this corner and I'll deal with whatever else is coming at me from this other side. That's really nice. And to be fair, the homing missiles, they're not 100% accurate, but they're pretty darn reliable.
Yeah, especially that... Oh, nope, never mind. Back to reflex.
I hope that at least you'll show off the flak, at least briefly, if only to show exactly why it's as bad as you say it is.
I really should at some point. Actually, I'm thinking it's... I'll need to figure out how to do a weapon demo reel, basically, where I go through and show all the upgrades, including the exclusive ones for all the guns.
Oh, so you're just going to do a run-through of the game where you just hoard upgrade points, and then, before you do, level 12 or something, you'll make a save, and then you'll just spend all those upgrade points in any number of ways.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can do that after level 6 is when I have enough super upgrade points to fully upgrade something. It's just a case of getting to there. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm considering it. But honestly, I didn't even do the cheat code videos for the previous game, so I don't know how much effort I'm going to put into this game at that point.
Well, I can sort of see why this level's taking this long. It is a big level.
The next level is even worse.
Ever since the shuttle accident last year, Cantor's working heads down non-stop. Big Man's banging out some genius-grade engineering.
Well, they say when you're a CEO, you're never off the job.
Ah, son of a bitch. Sorry, just that...
Ouch.
From practice...
Wow, you flew into that room too far, friend.
No, I have to because there's an enemy spawner that triggers right away, and if I don't deal with it right away, it's going to flood the room.
Oh, mean.
Yeah, this guy right here.
Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, that is not a situation where you can just hang back and kind of pick at enemies from afar, because they'll kind of spread out and start shooting at you from all different angles from that hallway.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer you put that off, it's just going to be harder and harder to get in there. And, well, it's not going to be impossible. So if that's your impulse the first time you run in here, then that's just the kind of experience you'll get. But, well, I guess foreknowledge does help smooth things out, as it always does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that spawner's kind of hidden from the entrance as well, so if you don't know what's going on and try and pick everyone off from the doorway, you're going to be there a long time.
I mean, you'll still hear it spawning because of the sound design in this game, but you're not going to know where it is. Directional audio can only tell you so much.
It's actually pretty far away from when you enter that room, so not hearing it is very possible.
Oh yeah, but with all the explosions going on.
Also, hell yeah, that was a nice shot. There is something I've noticed about level design in this game now, now that I'm replaying it with an eye to LPing things, is that there's always a majority enemy on the level. In this case, it's the green rebounders shots.
Yeah, that's a good principle to use.
And to be fair, this can backfire on the level design at some point, depending on the enemy and how you're fighting it. But in this case, like, it's just out. Where the hell did those go? That son of a... There! Die! Hopefully. And now
I sort of understand what you're talking about, but I think the variety of the terrain that you're dealing with, at least, forces you to reconsider your approach every now and then. And that is at least the upside of having limited ammo for missiles, etc.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just driller everything or rebound shot everything and call it a day.
Yeah. But I think
Wait, did you just fly through purple thing?
No, I had the overload power up running, the infinite ammo.
Oh, okay.
The placement of that invulnerability looks pretty ominous, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Now I can actually see from getting a different angle on those little tiny harpies, I think they were called. Like, they present a small silhouette to you when they're facing you head on, but if you can actually flank them, they have a broader side to them. So that way it's actually easier to hit them if you can get the drop on them.
Yeah. And of course, only now that I realize I didn't actually get the auto-op generator on my first pass through here for whatever reason. I didn't finish killing it.
Oh, you just hit it a few times and assumed that was enough. Oh, that's a good joke.
Welcome to my life.
Nothing is dead until you can see the body.
Until you see the debris field slowly drifting away and you get the destroyed marker in the upper right. But now it's just a case of collecting all of the power-ups and getting ready to go back and advancing into the next section.
One actual little tiny feature I'm kind of noticing the absence of is I don't think we haven't seen a map upgrade yet that lets you see where the enemies and auto-op generators are yet.
No, there is none. There isn't even a full map power-up in this game.
Huh, I wonder if that's an oversight or a deliberate decision.
Deliberate decision, because of the way the map is set up. It doesn't tell you where you haven't been, because it just shows the visual extent of your explorations with the yellow barriers.
I don't talk to Geisler and Eames anymore.
Yeah, and I assume that even though now the technology is certainly there that you could put the enemies on the map, they probably just decided not to.
And hitting that force field generator opens up... Where is it?
Yeah, that's actually some other important visual language that this game could be improving upon, is letting you know where a force field used to be. In the older Descent games, you basically had to hope that there was a texture with those little blue panelings letting you know that there used to be a force field here, but that was optional. The level designer chose whether to put that in or not.
Mm-hmm. God damn it. Not having the best of runs here, but whatever.
I don't know. I mean, that driller's doing okay, but it's not really mowing down enemies in the same way that it did before. And I don't know if that's just an artifact of enemy scaling, or if they're expecting you to use missiles more often than you are.
The driller or the cyclone?
The cyclone.
I mean, there is a subtle encouragement to use more powerful weapons as the game goes on, just as you said, with enemy scaling. But honestly, I still depend on the cyclone for 95% of my work. It's like the quad lasers in this game. Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. The quad lasers in this game aren't good.
Yeah, that's right. I don't think I've actually seen you use them except when you've died.
Yeah. So I've mentioned basically the quad lasers are one of the two power-up paths for the lasers. What happens is the you use a super upgrade and you get quad lasers for your quads. What it does is your lasers shoot half as often but deal twice as much damage.
Sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's actually a downgrade. So I can see why you might want to skip out on that, especially for if you're using this, alternate primary weapon of the Cyclone and just not even using the lasers.
Yeah.
So it helps if, the lasers always behave consistently from one run to another, if it's something that you're going to be rarely using, but might select in some specific scenario you want it to be ideal for that scenario. In this case, probably just, flooding the room with a whole bunch of weak shots is, I guess, what you would use it for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
like
even now, you still have weapons that do that job better.
Sorry, you were
I'm
saying?
like a broken record on this, but shot velocity for me is always king, especially if they're going to drop a thing on you fewer shots per second, but more damage. You've got to place each shot accurately.
Well, the shot velocity doesn't change, but I think the real reason why I don't use lasers or spend upgrade points on them, they don't change color when you upgrade them. They stay the same blue all from start to finish.
Oh man.
That was the deal breaker.
Lame. Yeah, so you got 48 missile pods. I'm sure you're waiting to use them on something. Oh, like that stuff all the way down there.
Hey, if I can, get free unreturned fire, I will take it.
Rare luxury. One of these days, I'm expecting you to turn on the headlights in the caves, and I'm just going to see a chalk drawing saying that, Kilroy was here or something.
That would be absolutely hilarious, but unfortunately, doesn't happen.
Getting reports of a widespread malfunction of the operators in all classes. Violence against personnel. Other erratic behavior.
I think this entire log series is unnecessary repetition because we've already gone through the people who've discovered why the auto ops went crazy and whatnot, and it's just coming at it from the guy who built the hardware just seems unneeded.
Yeah, that's too formal for what's going on. It sounds like he's hearing that across all these different moons of Saturn, the coffee machines are all breaking or something.
Well, it depends. Did this guy engineer the coffee machines as well?
Or it could be one of those things where, he doesn't believe what's going on.
We're hearing reports of a 10% increase in paper towel usage.
I'm just waiting for one of the robots to come along and start flinging scalding hot coffee at us. Actually,
that would be kind of funny, but not quite.
There's just not enough money in the budget for that. It's all going towards buzzsaws.
Yeah, the fancy gun budget is a huge value sink. Also, me realizing I didn't grab the key for this area. I need to backtrack a little bit.
You did that thing where you went 95% of the way in and then turned around?
Yeah, pretty much, because that's the key. I need to go around to get to it. But hey, another log.
Moses said Phoebe was modding the auto-op AI code. Now that is a stupid thing to do. I hope they weren't dumb enough to mess with the safety protocols.
Again,
That's right. You deploy version 1 and you stick to it.
It's one of those things where, I honestly think that the logs in this level should have been something different. I mean, maybe talk about the whole, super auto ops now flying around. Great. Instead, just rehashing the whole, oh my god, the auto ops are killing us. Doesn't work.
Something more like, oh, I was fine with the robots that had the 2 buzzsaws, flying around, but when you give them, flak missiles, then I'm getting nervous with them just peering over my shoulder, staring.
Yeah, something that really emphasized the hardware engineer point of view a bit more. It was kind of cool how he was complaining about the people in the other plant getting to mess with the software. Maybe lean into that harder.
You walk down the hallway to use the copier, and you gotta pass by this bipedal menace with double machine guns, and, it just really puts a damper on the office atmosphere.
And yes, that guy did die because of the lava explosions. I know it might not have been obvious, but that's what happened. And that was lockdown to gain the security key.
Well, it seems like it was a good call to upgrade those Hunter homing missiles if the game's going to be giving you this many of them.
Because, they are dropping from enemies that have Hunter missiles themselves, so why not? And, of course, there's an invincibility at the end.
Well, anything left to use it on?
Nope. If I really wanted to, I could try, unlocking it and accessing it before the lockdown began, but at that point it's like, I should just be shooting the enemy.
And now the real challenge begins. Where was Red Zone again? We saw it once at the beginning of the video. Oh, have you even gone this way before?
Yep. That's the level 3 door. That is basically the pathway up to the reactor room now.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the other hidden side benefit of this whole seeking enemies upgrade to that rebounder gun, is it makes them less likely to bounce right straight off the wall and back into you.
Not that it always works, obviously, but...
Well, it seems pretty good for gradually drawing aggro rather than you needing to pop out from around the corner and wake everything up at once.
Yeah, being able to fire around corners to do that certainly does help. Also, I like the fact that there's an enemy there's a seeking weapon coming at you. The tone of it is very subdued but easy to pick out audio.
Yeah, that's a distinct noise. That is something you can hear above everything else that's going on.
Now, this is also the first level in which finding the emergency exit and clearing the path to it before you start running down it is a good idea. Because the first time I made this run on, this recording run here, I'll make a quick save. What happened was I didn't quite make it down to the exit in time, because I forgot to clear the path out first.
Well, there's probably goodies in that reactor room, but it's probably just not even worth going after them.
Ooh, sliver of health left, sliver of health left. There we go. So, step 1, kill this guy. Step 2,
Okay.
turn around and kill this guy and hit the little mini generator that was hiding behind him.
Oh, there's a force field generator back there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's time consuming, alright.
And then that frees up the super upgrade.
Oh, can't leave home without that.
Yep. And time to... Now, the actual exit isn't the door here. You have to get by these lights up to... all the way up to here before you actually reach the exit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of mean to drop that on players without having hinted at that. I wonder how many people that's called out.
Me. But that is it for level 7. I will see you guys all next time for level 8. And it's harder.